right, Doctor, what do you think about the education system?
Education system nowadays is pretty well focused on the bookish part, honestly. Like in mathematics, are we good enough to write an equation? In history, are we really remembering the facts and the figures? That is not the purpose of education. The purpose of education is to make the mind open enough. The purpose of education to decondition the mind. The purpose of the education to unblock the mind. The purpose of education is to enlighten a person with critical thought process. At the end of the day, the question is that, can you think independently? If that purpose is not getting served by education, then that education is meaningless.
What do you think about, about getting a certificate?
No way. Certificate is never an index. Certificate is never an index of education. Will certificate or the certificates what we commonly have ever test that how open your mind is? It's only a piece of paper what you have achieved by passing an examination, and what does those examinations test? Your skill on a particular subject, which perhaps you have excelled, but as a human being, how open your mind is, how good you are as a human being, that never gets tested, and that's the most important thing in today's world.
So strong belief in, you have to have the passion in everything that you do?
Absolutely. The first thing first is that be a good human being. Once you have been a good human being, you will really live a good life which will make your life better, which will make that entire world a better place. And of course, if you become a good human being, it means that you are having that self-awareness. So self-awareness means what? You know what you are really passionate about, what you really want to do, what you really want to achieve. So I am a data science because I love numbers. Not that somebody has told me or I found that there is more money, nothing like that. If you are really passionate about painting or pottery, go with that. It's absolutely fine. And even a philosopher in today's world can make a good amount of money if that is the kind of index we are all looking for, if that is the kind of proxy variable we are taking for success. Even a philosopher can make a good amount of money if he is brilliant in that subject.
What about, what would you say to, our youngsters, the younger generation? They are basically,
What I find is that lack of thinking. They just do what the market says. So I think what they need to do is take a pause, take a break, understand who you are, what you are for, why do you exist, the basic fundamental question. Every individual is unique. So their potential, their journey, their destinations have to be different. One size doesn't fit all. But nobody else from outside can tell them, okay, from tomorrow onwards, you take this particular step. It is only they, if they introspect and understand who they are, they can figure out what steps they need to take and where they want to go. So I believe every individual, every youngster should do that thing at first before they start their career.
Your comments on quick wins?
Quick wins are oxymorons, in fact. When I was saying winning, what is winning? Let's try to dissect. What do I mean by winning? It is about being successful in life. What do I mean by successful? Of course, for every individual, the parameters or the index of success are different. To me, there are 3 index of success. One is being happy. Second one being peaceful. Third one being liberated. Liberated from what? Aversions and cravings. Now, I don't think one can be completely liberated from all aversion and cravings overnight. That cannot be a quick win. It's a matter of practice. How to practice, if the question comes. One needs to constantly figure out from the day-to-day activities. It is a kind of analytical meditation. There are actually 2 kinds of meditation, placement meditation and analytical meditation. In placement meditation, one focuses on a particular object or a thing and then tries to make the mind concentrate. In the analytical meditation, it is all about analyzing that why a person is behaving in a particular way. So, if I am finding that I have got a lot of contaminations like greed, like jealousy, I need to identify them and then eradicate them from the roots. And side by side, I need to implant the good qualities. What are the good qualities? Like kindness, compassion. If I can have the mind completely free from all the contaminations and full of good qualities, then it is very easy for me to achieve the path or achieve the goal of being happy, peaceful, and liberated. I'm not saying that everybody has to follow these things. I'm not a preacher here, I'm not a reformer here. I am saying is that everybody must identify their own goal and must figure out how to proceed. And they must measure their journey. They must assess whether they are really progressing on a day-to-day basis.
And you were saying just now very interesting fact about, being, they are very supposed to be more free, do not...
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
The
So
stigma.
I don't know this, especially in Asian culture, I have found that people have got a lot of inhibitions. People have got a lot of inhibitions. They are very shaky. So what is the problem there? Problem is that you are not bringing your fullest potential. You are not manifesting your fullest potential. Say for instance, you are a good dancer. You can be a good dancer, but you hesitate a lot before taking your first step in the public. But you can be very free even when you are in your own closed room. Same for the singing, same for a lot of other talents. So we need to come out of our inhibitions. That's very critical. And again, that's a matter of practice. You need to take every step, maybe public speaking at first, debating with some unknown friends, going to a coffee shop, making friendship with the strangers. But it's very important and critical for the Asians to come out of that inhibitions.
Are you someone that, when you are basically facing with a problem, for example, someone that, heads on, or you have to take a step back and think?
See, it all depends on the problem, of course. If you're already acquainted with any problem, then you know the trick how to solve it. Okay, then you need not think about it. But yes, if you feel that there is a necessity to think, I strongly believe one should step back and analyze critically what are the factors, what are the variables that are on behind the problem, and don't just work on the symptoms of the problem, diagnose the problem, understand what caused that problem and work on that to eradicate it.
Okay, back to education system. You
Please.
were saying just now, where can we learn all these things? The things that you mentioned. just
I
now.
believe Finnish education, the education of Finland, can be a good model for all of us. It's I'm sure you all be knowing, it's part of the best education system in the entire world. And they have completely done away with all this subject-specific compartmentalization like history, geography, physics. It's not like that. There is a world body of knowledge, and how we should approach that world body of knowledge to our critical thinking, logical thinking, analytical bent of mind, research bent of mind. If we nurture those things, it will be very easier for us to understand the subject, understand the knowledge, appreciate the knowledge. Thank you.
All right.